Hello and welcome to the CGI Tech Career Lab. My name is Nicole and I am the Talent Acquisition Lead for Atlantic Canada, located here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. With me today, I have Aisha, who's one of our senior management consultants based out of Toronto. Before we dive right into it, just a couple of quick housekeeping items. We do have a live chat feature, so if you have any questions, feel free, just ask away in the live chat. And after this session, we will be hosting a bit of a round table for which you will have to register, but we would love to see you there. All right, let's get started. Aisha, so working in the management consulting practice with CGI, what brought you, how did your career evolve to working into management consulting?
That's a great first question. And I just wanted to say I'm super excited to be here. And a big thank you to everyone who took time out of their day to join us for this career lab. Really excited to meet all of you and participate throughout the day. But Nicole, for me, consulting started right out of university. I was in a very traditional business school, so consulting was a core element and something we were exposed to in our everyday life. And in university, being in business school, we did a lot of case-based learning. So that exposed me very quickly on how we can use different frameworks, how we can hypothesize and really take a case problem and come up with a solution. Throughout university, meeting a lot of professionals, it was very easy for me to determine what I did not want to do. And when I realized what actually excited me and energized me, consulting was that clear answer. So that really solidified my interest in it. And I said, yes, I want to be that person who can be put into ambiguous situations and use frameworks and tools to come up with new solutions. And I realized that meant being part of consulting because you can explore new industries, new challenges, and you're not doing day-to-day work. So that really sparked my initial interest in consulting.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it is, it's very much that each big problem, tangly problem is like a new case, right? So you have been with CGI now for 4 years, and your career has really evolved quite nicely. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey at CGI?
For sure. Like I had mentioned, I came right out of university, so I actually got a chance to participate in the new grad program, which was really geared towards early professionals who were first venturing into their professional sphere. So when I got through in the new grad program, got a lot of great opportunities to have learning opportunities, skills development, and all that kind of good stuff. We had a really solid community of peers that we can count on. But specifically, I joined right away in the business consulting practice. And my one goal that I had as soon as I started was I want to work for a client right away. I want to learn as much as I can while still being part of the team, but I want to be put on a client project because what's a better way to learn than to be thrown into a problem right away? So I would say, lucky enough, with a lot of support from my leadership and my team members, in about 3 to 4 months, I was already client facing and I was put on a project. So that really helped me quickly learn and get my feet wet into what consulting is, what areas I'm interested in. And our team specifically at the time was really geared towards a digital transformation and also design thinking and human-centric design. So our team got a lot of opportunities to participate with clients that were looking for those strategic types of engagements. And because of the nature of business consulting, we didn't do long-term implementation projects. We did shorter stints, right? Sometimes 8-week projects to 12-week projects. So I would say in my first 2 years, I got a chance to participate in a lot of different industries. So a lot of our financial services clients, a few insurance clients, a few healthcare clients, even some folks from on our manufacturing and distribution side. So by able to quickly learn a bunch of different industries and a bunch of different domains, I quickly transitioned out of the new grad program, saw myself taking on a role of a consultant. So a full-fledged client-facing consultant. And with that, I got a lot of leadership opportunities. I went from not just being a support member on the team, but I ended up owning work streams, right? So I could take on one capability stream. So quickly, honing in my skills on the leadership side, just about a year and a half ago, I got promoted to senior consultant, and now I'm in a capacity where I'm actually leading engagements. I have a team of consultants and analysts, and I'm doing multiple projects. So I would say when I look at my growth, I'm really happy, coming straight out of university to where I am now. And I can only attribute it to the leadership support that I've received, and also the unique opportunities I've gotten to actually work with a bunch of different clients across different industries.
Wow, that is incredible. What a great story. And I understand too that the management consulting practice here at CGI, it has grown in leaps and bounds in that time, right? It was a fairly new area for us, but it's really taken off. So can you tell us a little bit about what you've seen in terms of the growth of this practice within CGI?
For sure. I would say globally, the CGI business consulting arm has been growing rapidly, but specifically in Toronto, when I think about CGI and the relationship it's had with a lot of its clients, we've traditionally been that technology partner. We've been deep into their infrastructure and architecture, but now clients, when they think about strategy and when they think about digital transformation, they want a very real player. They want someone who can come in and give them results that are real, that are tangible, that they can actually see, value and outputs out of it. So with that, they realize from all of the different strategic consulting players that exist within the market, because at CGI we know their technology so well and we have such deep subject matter experts, we don't give them pie in the sky solutions. We give them real solutions. And when clients have been able to understand the value proposition that we have, the growth their demand has grown tremendously. So it's not even speaking to our growth in business consulting. As long as the clients have the demand coming from their side, that translates directly to us looking for even more support, more skills, more capabilities to be able to respond back to that demand. So definitely, once we started out in the first year or two, it was a lot of explaining and educating the market of what exactly it is that we do. But then quickly we were able to show results, and we were able to connect our strategic work with the strength of our technology teams and our domains. And that's when they were like, yep, we are ready. We want these interdisciplinary teams to actually help us shape that strategy and that roadmap. So 100%, the growth has been tremendous, really.
That is incredible. And that was a great word that you used with the interdisciplinary teams, because even within management consulting, that's still pretty broad, right? Just as if you were to say technology, that's very, very broad. So, what sort of disciplines have you worked with on your teams in the management consulting space?
Oh, so many. I mean, I'm always so happy when I walk into some of these meetings, because I every single day I'm meeting such amazing experts within the field. I myself am learning something new every single day when I have a chance to work with these experts. I've gotten a chance to work with data scientists, people who know data inside and out. They know exactly what to do with it. Looking at machine learning, data science, those types of capabilities. I've even worked with folks from open banking, payment modernization, looking at cloud expertise, even folks who are like pure organizational change management experts. So a lot of those niche experts have been brought in when we have some of these strategic engagements, because we need to be able to leverage the skills that they have to offer. So when I look back at all the different types of projects I've been on, it's never been a purely business team or a purely, let's say, business consulting team, because at the end of the day, we need to bring in those industry experts, or we need to bring in those domain experts to really create a holistic solution. So even if it's looking outside of the technology capabilities like cloud, data, machine learning, just overall cloud transformation, also bringing in people who know the industry inside and out. One time we were doing a project with credit unions. It's understanding that credit unions are fairly different from large scale banks. So how can we bring in credit union domain experts to help us give light to the type of project and client that we're dealing with? So 100%, it's always an interdisciplinary team. And the fact that we have about 80,000 people globally, it's never just tapping into our Toronto market. It's also looking broad as to what members we can pick from. I'll give you one super quick example. We are growing our ESG practice for capital markets. So we have an amazing team within Sweden that has a whole ESG practice. They have a bunch of different experts, and the communication with them is so easy because they're so willing and eager to work with us. So I would definitely say it's interdisciplinary within Toronto for sure, but also we have the ability to loop in those global experts when need be.
Oh, that's amazing. It sounds too, by having all of these different levels of expertise, not only are you able to, solve the problems, but you're able to solve them in a very practical and meaningful way. So it's understandable how this practice has grown so much.
For
Now, on
sure,
the teams,
totally.
yeah. And on
Mhm.
the teams, you were saying, I know that you're part of the hiring team in many cases and interviewing candidates to join these incredible teams. What are some of the things or the key attributes that you look for in candidates when you're going through the interview process?
That's a fantastic question. And I think though, I think looking beyond hard skills, the one thing that I always value the most is creative curiosity. I want someone who I can trust to place in an ambiguous situation and for them to leverage some sort of framework, some sort of hypothesis, or come up with an approach to walk out of that ambiguous situation with a solution. What I care about the most is their thought process. How did they come up with the next step? How did they come up with this recommendation? How did they come up with the solution? If they're effectively able to walk me through their thought process, then I can automatically just say, yep, this is a person that I want to work with, because looking beyond their hard skills, be it data, be it cloud, be it something very specific, I value first and foremost that a creative curiosity, that ability to think in ambiguous situations and come up with an approach. They don't need to have the right answers. They don't need to have the perfect answers. But if they're able to think through something and says, okay, areas A, D, E, I need support in, I need help in, but I think for C, D, and H, these are the different ways I can tackle it. That is a very, very valuable asset that I look for. And a lot of times in business consulting, we do case-based interviews. So those cases, by design, are very ambiguous and fairly challenging. So it's not for them to solve the case or come up with the best, most innovative solution, but it's really how did they go about coming to the answer. That, and if they're able to effectively say that, it's an automatically yes, this is a person I want to work with. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's a really great approach and a really good point too, especially for case interviews. Case interviews can be a little intimidating for people because, thinking you need to get the right answer, but it's not about that, is it? It's really about that. I love how you put creative curiosity. That's really quite incredible. So, being with CGI, obviously, you've had an amazing career journey so far. But what is your favorite part about working with CGI?
Oh, that's a lovely question. Of course, it's the opportunity to work with some really, really amazing folks. I've loved the team members I've been able to work with and develop relationships with, both at work and even outside of work. But when I think about just my life outside of that professional world, right? The work that I'm doing with my clients, one thing that's super near and dear to my heart is the STEM community that I've been able to build and collaborate with at CGI. So, of course, being a technology company, we are heavily invested in STEM, not just at a Canadian level, but at a global level. This is one of our highest areas of priority. So that trickled down into Toronto as well, being one of our major hubs. And they wanted to basically create a STEM workshop so that we could educate the youth of tomorrow, because STEM is a very expensive field to pursue. So how can we spark curiosity in young minds to say STEM is actually an area of education that you can take? So as a company, when we look at our hiring pipelines and we see that we may not have the most diversity and we want to build that diversity, CGI really stepped back and said, how do we make a grassroots impact to actually build up that pipeline, starting from the youngest of youngest in grade 7 and grade 8. So being part of that founding STEM committee in Toronto, we've been able to host, I would say, 7 to 8 workshops where we've impacted the lives of 250 kids from minority communities across Toronto. So we're talking about Indigenous youth, we're talking about newcomers to Canada, we're talking about socioeconomic disadvantaged communities in Toronto, and also girls who are systematically not included in STEM at an educational level. So by being able to be a part of something, and I've been a part of it since day one actually at CGI, and seeing the continued commitment from our leadership and the investment we've seen at STEM, that comes down to being my favorite part, because it's looking outside of, okay, this is what I do on a day-to-day basis, this is how I help my clients, but also there's a very real element of my time at CGI that is committed to STEM. And I would say that really makes all of the hard days or the tough days worth it.
Oh, absolutely. What a lovely story. And I know that that's probably one of my favorite parts with CGI as well, is there's so much opportunity to become involved in the community and to really make an impact on the communities within which we live, right? Um, so one last question for you, Aisha. What do you see as the future of the business consulting function within CGI?
Oh, that's lovely. I think I see tremendous amounts of growth for business consulting. I don't see business consulting being a standalone practice that's only happening within bubbles of the CGI global organization. I I I honestly see business consulting going hand in hand with any of our major technology projects. The really large scale implementation and migration projects we sign up for, and that CGI is known for. I see business consulting being a part of that. 100%, I see them both playing an equal part in our global strategy, and also how we as an organization want to be branded out into the market, that we are your end-to-end strategy to implementation partner, and we will be the ones to provide you that holistic view into the transformation that you wish to achieve.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it really is. It's such a major growth area for us and such a natural progression, I think, as an organization for us to include a business consulting lens to our technology solutions as well. That's fantastic. Well,
For
that
sure.
wraps. Yeah. So just to kind of wrap up, I'd like to thank everybody who's been able to join us today. And just as a reminder, we're about to move into a roundtable discussion. So on behalf of Aisha and myself, we would love to see you there. But as a friendly reminder, you must register for this roundtable event. So please do so now. But come on and join us and continue the discussion.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nicole, for having me. I look forward to meeting anyone who's able to join us for the roundtable. Thank you so much.
Bye.